Gonna ride out of Cairns. Got our new tyres, so we have to be very careful with the way we ride. We're gonna ride out to Yorkie's Knob and just run these tyres in before we head out into the tablelands. Thankfully we've got dry roads, that makes a big difference. So we've just been staying at this place on the left here. It's been a really good place to stay. It's been very quiet. We've had 2 nights, which has been really good. I needed that. When we got here, I was a bit stressed. Because we'd ridden here in torrential rain. Wow, there's just the most massive spider's web just there. That is humongous. That could catch a man. The lights on it. So this is pretty much town. It's very nice little town. I think, yeah, we've both really enjoyed staying here. I think I prefer Townsville. It's less touristy. They don't have the international airport. But it's the beachfront all along to the right, with an esplanade between the road and the beach, which is really nice. I love all the flora here in this climate. All the palms and the trees are beautiful. The temperature range up here at the moment is between 20 and 27. So I think basically when the sun's out, it's 27. And what I can remember about being here 25 years ago is that it was summertime and it was about 45 degrees. There was no air conditioning in the backpackers where I was staying, and nobody could sleep. I was in a dormitory. And I had to get up very early in the morning to catch a flight, and I remember sleeping in, and I missed my flight back to New Zealand. See how there's vines that grow all over the trees. Yeah, we walked all the way down here. Here. So this is called Captain Cook Highway, and he was the person that discovered Cairns. What a pioneer that guy was. Discovering this whole east coast, really. You can can see from the landscape that it's a lot more hilly and a lot greener than the rest of Australia that we've seen so far. They do get a lot more rainfall up here. Innisfail is the wettest city in Australia, and that's only an hour away. This is the road out to Yorkeys Knob. We're only just 10 minutes out of Cairns. Still growing sugarcane up here. It's actually the season for harvesting the sugarcane. They call it the sugar crush. And you can see here on the left they've harvested it and replanted it. It's like such incredibly fertile soil up here. I was reading in the paper, the local paper yesterday when we were waiting for our tyres, that there's 2 trains of thought up here on the crocodiles. The sort of scientific people are saying, you know, there's too many of them now, and they've actually become really big and dangerous up here because there's so many wild animals for the crocs to feed on, wild pigs and feral cats and goodness knows what. That they've grown too big for their territory. When they get so big, they need a bigger territory. They become aggressive with each other, and they're saying that they, you know, the scientific view is that they should cull the numbers because it's inevitable that they're gonna run over into where people live. But then there's a voice that says, no, you just got to educate the people about where to swim and where to keep clear of, because they've got every right to be where they are. So it's interesting that there's always 2 polarizing views. Some nice accommodation here. This might be a place we'll stay at on our way back. I like Cairns. I don't know that I want to stay there again though. It really was very touristy and noisy, lots of, you know, busy. Oh, look at that big bird down there. Ah, what a joy to see these birds. There it is up in the sky. God, it's like a pterodactyl. It's so massive. Just riding over the barren river on our way into the tablelands. And as you can see, as we head towards the tablelands, it's getting cloudy. It is rainforest. And the tablelands are sort of prospered. The area prospered because people found gold there and lots of precious and semi-precious gems as well. A lot of opals and topaz. Word got out sort of globally, and the Chinese came over to pan for gold. This road that we're taking is also called the Savannah Way, and if you stay on that road it will take you all the way across to Broome on the west coast. This is the road going out to Atherton. It's only 56 k's away. these are more like New Zealand roads. This is more what we're used to. Bike's really sounding good. Well, this ride's everything that I hoped it would be. The wet tropics, World Heritage Area. It's just going to wind its way up the mountain. This would be a very tough road to do if we weren't used to our New Zealand roads. All these hairpin bends. It's probably wider than a lot of our New Zealand windy roads though. It's good to not be stuck behind slow traffic coming up here. I mean, I'm only doing 50 k's right now, but all the cars that we had behind us are long gone. It's frustrating having to go at their speed. Wow, we've climbed pretty high. This is great. This is like riding up a Rupehu. Drive for tourists. Soon. opened up a bit just now, so I'm actually in third gear. Now I'm in fourth. Amazing. Slowing it down. Second gear. I didn't actually realise we were going to climb up this high. We go down the other side, or whether the tablelands are at this elevation. It's a tight one. Still in second gear. This bike pulls away really well in that situation in second gear. On my deuce I probably would have had to have gone into first just there. It's a great windy road. What a way to spend a Wednesday morning. I'm so pleased that Honey is finally getting to enjoy his retirement by doing stuff like this. The sky's looking black up ahead. This really is very high. This is higher than we would climb when we ride onto Ruapehu. Magnificent view out to the left. I don't know that the camera can pick it up. Got to keep off that centre line, and there's been a few trucks coming down. Ooh, that's jungle-like. I wonder what critters live up here. It's pretty cold and wet most of the time up here, I'd say. So I'd say not too much lives up here. Most of the creatures in northern Queensland, I think, prefer the summer months when it's hot. You know, lizards and snakes, they just like it very hot. I'm actually getting into the cloud. Very quickly over here. It's just where the trees are overhanging. Yeah, Honey's pulling his zips up. It's got quite cold up here. Super windy. All the cars are going nice and slow. Very cautious. It's good. Ding Road ends in 3 Ks. That's a good sign. got so cold up here. Oh, this is just like riding in New Zealand. Oh, this is some of the best riding we've done since we came to Australia up here. There's a punga tree. I didn't know they had pungas here. But it feels like the exact place where you'd see pungas in New Zealand. There we go, pop out the other end. Tablelands now. I'd say it can be pretty wild up here. Wet and windy. So we are very lucky to be up here on this day. Got a nice view down there. Town called Yungabara. It's very quaint. Beautifully presented. Little hanging baskets everywhere. Looks very nice. Coming into Atherton now. Believe how much like New Zealand it looks up here. That's a nice bougainvillea straight ahead. Nice bit of colour amongst all the bush. I'm glad that we're staying up here. It's very nice. That's us on the right. Making up the rooms. We're very early. It's only about 11:30. And we've just ridden through Atherton. It's just a small town. And we're now riding out to Cairns, which is a place I've been to before. And I remember it quite well because it's quite an alternative hippie kind of place, and I loved it there. And it's interesting that I ended up living in Titirangi, and I suppose Cairns is a very big version of Titirangi village. It's very alternative. Probably about 50 k's from here, I'd say, something like that. They actually grow coffee beans up here and chocolate beans. I never knew that those things were grown in Australia. Our accommodation back at Atherton is pretty basic, but I think it will be quiet. It's as bush as we've gone in Australia. If we're going to see any giant spiders, it's going to be back there, that's for sure. And back at that, we just passed a cafe that was serving croc burgers. That sounds terrible. This is Coranda. So, just had a little look around Karanga village. Don't recognise any of it. Very touristy. Yep. Bit of a Byron Bay in terms of lots of sort of Indonesian clothes to buy, a lot of hippie stuff, my kind of stuff. There's quite a few shops back there in Karanga selling opals and rock opal. And that's where there's some sort of evidence of opal on a rock, so it's not something you can turn into anything. And it was interesting to read about how they are created. I never knew, but they're something like 50 million years old, and the opals get formed from silica water dripping through limestone, which creates stalagmites and stalactites. But where there's an electrical charge, I don't know how there's an electrical charge in the earth, but where that electrical charge exists, it turns that silica, which has hardened, into iridescent colours. So it's really like an electrified stalagmite. Anyway, that's quite fascinating to understand how opals are created. And they're all found up here on the tablelands. And Australia has 97% of all opals in the world. And the formation of the opal silica looks very beautiful on a rock. It sort of has a milkiness to it, but with iridescence. And you can see in the rocks, sometimes it's just a seam, but sometimes it's quite significantly covering the rock. This is the edge of Atherton. So it's just on the edge of town, which is quite nice. And then we're down the back of this so it's good to have the bikes out of sight.